Mark, can we just start with some team news? How's your squad looking? Everyone survived the Old Firm okay and ready for tomorrow night?
Yeah, we're okay in that aspect. The lads are looking forward to the game. I think that Alistair Johnson's hasn't completed a game yet, but he's done really fine.
How do you reflect on the Old Firm win, and how does it set you up for this one?
It gives us a big boost of confidence going into the game tomorrow evening. That's obviously the most important thing. Naturally, winning the game and in the manner in which we did is great, but that's gone. Really has gone now. That's over and done with, and we face a major task here tomorrow evening.
What is the task that sits in front of you tomorrow night? Because rightly Motherwell have been applauded lots for how they've played. How important is it that you grasp the opportunity tomorrow night to keep this alive?
Well, of course, it's of the utmost importance that we have. It's actually, if we win the 2 games, easier said than done. If we win the 2 games, we win it, and you would have got long odds about that a number of weeks ago, certainly a few months ago. So from that viewpoint, it's just we have to try and win, and that will not be easy.
In terms of what Hearts have done this season, they've led for so much of the campaign. With 2 to go, is there almost more pressure on Hearts now because of where they find themselves? And they've been ahead for so long, it's almost unthinkable for them to lose it. But does that add more pressure?
You would have to ask them that. I genuinely don't know. I don't know at all. But I think that we've been fighting every single week. We've won, 5 games in the trot, and still haven't caught up. So that might tell you everything about our position some months ago. Anyway, it is what it is. Hearts are a fine side, really fine team. They've stuck at it all season long, and we're trying to make ground. We're trying to make inroads, even with 2 games to go. You'd have thought we'd nearly have caught someone by that time, but unfortunately we haven't.
Well, it seems to have clicked. 5 games in a row, 5 wins.
Yeah, we've got some players are playing really in really good form, which is the most important thing. I think there's a good connection with the team now and the fans. I think that's been an important issue. I think that Celtic Park on Sunday was just was kind of reminiscent of my old days anyway, and that's been great. But we've gone away from home. We've won some big matches as well too. So I think just a combination of all of those things gives us a chance anyway.
Is a message at all to the players changed in the last few weeks?
In what sense?
In terms of you encouraging them to get in this final few furlongs.
Yeah. Oh, well, listen. Yeah, I think they've known for some weeks that there was no, particularly after the game at Dundee United, there was no room for mistakes. And that's hard to keep going every single game, because there'll be a match where you might actually dominate, you might not score in that, and another team might break away and find themselves 1-0 up. So those sort of things, like for instance on Sunday, we started off strongly. The game was helter skelter, I must admit. Rangers score, it sets us back, but we come roaring back into the game. Scoring just after a couple of goals after half time, one of them being a fantastic goal, gives us that big boost of confidence that's so important at this stage.
Have you got a feeling that this is going to go down to a last day finale at Celtic Park?
I don't know about that. I think that we can only look at ourselves, try and win the game tomorrow night if we can, and that would it. And I think then the weekend would take care of itself. But we've come a long distance here. You would like it to go to the last game.
Martin, you've played catch-up for so long. You talk about that Dundee United game. Would yourselves and the players have snapped your hand off for being in this position? 2 wins, you win the league, and a cup final.
I think absolutely. I think after Tannadice, I think we would have accepted that. Yeah, of course.
And how much confidence does that give you that after Tannadice you say it's no room for error? And you've just won every game since.
Well, we've won the games, yeah, and that's been terrific. We scored a late goal at Dundee to win the game. I think we deserved to do so, but when they equalised with the penalty, they were in the ascendancy at that stage. So, and we've shown a bit of character, which I think is, obviously an overused word in the game, but I think we've shown that, some resilience, some character, and some lads playing really, really terrifically.
Can I ask you about the Motherwell manager, Jens Bertolaski, who's received a lot of praise this season for the way his team play. He's been linked to possibly taking over here in the summer. What are your thoughts on him and on that as well?
I think he's done really well, really well. Yeah, they play a nice brand of football as well too, so yeah, he deserves a lot of plaudits.
What do you expect from Motherwell specifically? Because the game against Fir Park, the game at Fir Park, previously, obviously you weren't in charge, but it's a very difficult day for Celtic.
It was a difficult day, yeah, that's right. Well, probably exactly the same. But since that we've been able to win the game against them at our place. It's a difficult task. They're playing they play a really nice brand of football, and I think that they still want to try and qualify for Europe, I'm sure. But essentially, they're not playing under that sort of pressure. At Motherwell, you can actually, you can do this, and you can play. And you can lose some matches and still have a really good season. That doesn't happen at this club.
We were just speaking to Benjamin Negron there about the last few months since the Tannadice defeat, and he was mentioning his hunger for victory and success never wilted throughout this point, and he says it's the same for the squad. Can you speak to the hunger and the character of this squad? Is it something that's even surprised you, or is it something that you've been delighted by, that in every game where you've had to win, be it that hunger, the character, the quality, it always seems to have risen to the top and got you through it?
Well, we have, it's been a topsy-turvy season. You would have to question whether that hunger existed early on in the season. That's the point. But it's if it has come back, then that's great. We're all guilty of talking a really good game. You have to do it. You have to really do it on the pitch, and that's what we have to try and do tomorrow night.
You've had many a big week in your career, both playing and managing, but these next 10 days for you, how do you view what can happen come the end of it, and how do you keep a lid on your emotions?
Well, actually that's really been quite easy. People are saying to me that you don't celebrate the goals in the manner in which you used to. Well, 1, I'm older. 2, I can't jump as high. And 3, I don't even know whether it's a goal or not. Because what's the point in celebrating something that's going to be ruled offside or penalty or something else, or whatever the case may be? So I'll just stay with my doer self. All right?
Does that put a dampener on things in modern day football when you're not sure if you're going to get the goal that you've just seen scored?
I think it takes the spontaneity away. Yeah, I've always felt that. So, so I decide there's no point.
Can you enjoy this period though?
Me? You've asked me that question a couple of times.
Well, I asked you the last time when I thought we weren't going to get to speak to you again, and then you turned up as the manager.
Oh,
again,
I see. Right. Okay.
For this,
do you enjoy it?
For what's riding on it, can you?
I'm not so sure you can enjoy it really. You enjoy it if you win. You can enjoy it. Yeah.
How does it differ to your previous spell, Martin? 20 years
Well,
ago.
no,
So.
Pretty well much the same, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
You feeling the same? Would you feel more nervous now?
Oh
less
no!
nervous?
I don't know. I can't remember. But the anxiety wouldn't be that much different. No. Yeah. And I think it's good that I feel this way. It is, because I've always felt that. Felt this as a player. Although the thing you always felt as a player is you could do something about it. But I've always felt the same as a manager. And then you're depending on players for your living after that. And so I've, the same sort of nervousness, the same sort of excitement, all those type of things still exist with me.
As Ronnie was saying, you've achieved so much as a player and a manager. But do you feel that if these next 3 games go the way you want them to, it could be right up there with your achievements, given all of the circumstances?
I think for the number of games that we've played or will play, when Sean, Mark and myself got together both spells, I think we will have played 23 league games. That's difficult to win in a 38-game season, So that would be, if we could do it, and we are seriously light years away from that. I mean, you might say it's 2 games. We're light years away from that. We could then, and then you'd have to maybe put things into context then after that. But that's for another day, and it might not even be for any day.
You mentioned just in one of the previous answers about the crowd and how much they helped you get over the line in certain games. There's been times this season where Celtic Park hasn't been like that.
Of course.
You sat there and in that very seat calling for unity. There seems as there is that unity together towards the end. I just wonder how powerful could that be in the next 2 games, that there is a club now in one direction?
Yeah, well, it is at this minute, absolutely, and who knows whether it's just respite or whatever the case may be. I just don't know. But what I do feel is that the crowd have been really, really big. I know I thought that, and I know I said this to you before, when the crowd looked indifferent, let's put it that way, to begin with, and then throwing things onto the pitch, I thought it wasn't going to affect the players. I think that the game against was it Stuttgart, when things were thrown on, I thought that I didn't think that helped anybody, but I think it's a combination of us winning some football matches, trying to get together, and some sort of accord between the board and the fans. I think all combination of those things has been terrific, really terrific. And again, I say that Sunday's game really did bring me back, so to some long gone yesteryear. But it was really great against Rangers. So anyway, and at least I didn't lose that game, which was nice. But I say I lose the games. I don't, I've got a team really. I'm essentially, to quote Brian Clough's, I think, phrase once when he talked about Peter Taylor, and he said that Clough was the shop window and that Taylor was the goods at the back. Well, I feel this about the coaching staff.